Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Wrestle AM, half morning show, half wrestling show, all BS. I am the huge one kid idiot Dave Koco from KocoSports, and he is a raccoon named SidsLight from everywhere where you find at SidsLight. Welcome, and kids, do your homework. There you go. How you doing, Sid? How you doing? And welcome to Wrestle AM, brand new. You feeling good?
I'm doing all right, yeah.
All right. Let's rock and roll. First topic. By the way, Sid, I appreciate it, dude. This is our second take, and I was just waiting for Sid to fucking interrupt and be like, "This is the second take. He messed up," and you took the high road.
I was going to wait and bring it up later, so it actually saves me time that you brought it up now.
a raccoon in a trash can is showing some class. I appreciate it.
I liked how you started with half morning show, because that way you couldn't possibly say all morning show if you started with half morning show.
It's like half morning show. We are a podcast on YouTube, KocoSports, wherever you find your podcast needs. And first story. Vince McMahon gets TKO'd. TKO is taking away his puppy. He's taking away his sunshine. He's taking away his creative freedom. They went all with Triple H, and they're slowly but surely getting rid of him. And, you know, Vince is very wealthy, okay? Let's not lie. I know a lot of WWE fans, they dream of being wealthy. They think Vince's success is their success. Vince McMahon, with his mustache, he doesn't have to worry about cash, and that's good for him. But he loves and breathes and eats being WWE creative. And they were so confident in that meeting with his pencil mustache. They're like, "Don't worry, we'll never get rid of you, Vince. We'll never. You're our guy, Vince. You'll always be a part of the company." And you know, creative was so important to him. And now he's getting TKO'd out. And here's the thing. I bet you during this sales pitch, they're like, "Well, we kept Dana White in charge. Look, we bought the UFC and Dana White's still in charge." And Vince is like, "God damn right. I'm going to be in charge just like Dana."
Yeah, I figured they made the pitch of something like, "We see you in the role similar to Dana."
Yeah, and he's like, "I'm on board." So,
that sounds great for me. Also, can I have input on creative? That's a can do for us, Vince.
Sure, we'll give it a shot. 10 seconds in. So, I don't know. It's one of those things. He's had an up and down path. Some people worship the ground he walks on. Some people think he is the devil. I think he's somewhere in between. A bit of a survivalist. Always changing his story. Always changing his backstory. But this has to hurt. Just be like, yeah, you're just not in charge of creative. Triple H full on. And not only that, but there's also been reports that they're going to probably try to phase him out of the company completely. They're saying like, "Oh, our stock price is low because of him," which I don't know if they could physically point to a point where that happened, but that's like your.
Well, he is a negative detractor that comes up for them the most, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, Dana White had that reputation in media, but I think Vince went a little bit farther than Dana has ever gone.
Well, also you had Vince overstepping and doing and nixing things for creative that it's from the sounds of things, it seems like he was in an advisory role to Triple H, but was nixing things.
Yeah, he's just like, "Nope, we're not doing that. Nope, we're not doing that." And be honest, that's probably the best place to be, you know? You could be just a little Kevin Foggy sitting on top. Be like, "Nope. Yep, make sure that one gets all the powers."
Yeah, but they don't want him nixing things.
No. And now poor Vince has to go retire, probably a billionaire. But here's the thing. If anyone doesn't give a fuck about money, because I think Vince cares about money as far as bragging about it. You know, he's like, "Look, I'm rich, fuck you." But I think he'd rather have control. He would rather have control. I think so too.
So, I imagine that he's still, like, I find it hard to believe that his son-in-law is not still checking in with him.
I mean,
and, like, running ideas by him. What do you think of this? Or you got any ideas for what I could do here?
Here's the thing. I think
it doesn't mean he's going to run with it, but I still think he's undeniably gonna go to one of the greatest bookers of all time and be like, "Hey, what do you think?"
I think it's the opposite. I think it's a really young kid who's absolutely fucking amazing at basically everything, and he's just going up to the old timers out of respect. You know, like if you ever been in a dojo and you see this old guy that's like 98, and you're like, "Oh, please tell me about the wrist lock," but that young guy probably knows more about the wrist lock than the old guy, but he's just showing respect. I think it's more of that.
Yeah, that's what I think he's doing exactly. Is that, and if Vince happens to give him a great idea, he'll probably run with it. But it's probably more one of those like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and then like tuning out while he listens.
Yeah, and and like I can see like at Thanksgiving, come on, Steph's like, come on, Paul, just ask him something, ask him anything. He's like, Steph, I don't fucking want to. Come on, Paul, it's Thanksgiving, don't fucking ruin it. And he's like, where do you think the Cody story should go? And Stephanie winks at him. That's my man. And he's like, well, it's about God time you asked me. I fucking thought we were gonna fucking just eat potatoes here.
See, I imagined it from the other angle. I was imagining it like once he's cut off from creative, like he starts coming over to the house like every week on like Tuesday or Wednesday to just have dinner with the family. I want to see the grandkids. I'm retired now. I don't have much time. Blah blah blah. But then he's dinner. He's like playing with his food with his fork, and he's like,
yeah,
wait. I saw that segment with Cody. Where are you heading with that?
I thought you were here for the kids.
Oh, I am, but it's small talk. So.
Do you even know the kid's name?
Yeah, Joey and Todd and Sarah, or something. But what if Cody were to maybe do something different than that story? I have one in mind with Dewdrop.
Like Stephanie and Triple H, they work crazy hard. Their kids are, at Linda's. They just pull up and Vince is sitting there on their porch. I got some ideas to pass by you. We were just hoping to spend some time together. Hold hands, watch Netflix. All right, you hold hands and watch Netflix and write this down, okay?
I imagine that they're going to just have like a fax machine just set up in Hunter's office, and it's just going to be the fax for Vince. And Vince just faxes over ideas all the time, and it just piles up and goes straight into the little receptacle to get shredded immediately.
It's like, this is a good goddamn idea. So, and I imagine, it's not. Vince, we wish you nothing but the best. I'm Team Triple H when it comes to creative.
If he gets hard shut out, though, do you think he would start contacting other people to help with creative? Like how Russo and them did, where they just couldn't let go?
That's a possibility. I mean,
like if someone
does he start another takeover? He's like, God damn it, you can't let me fucking book. We're gonna fucking sell this to Disney.
Well, here's the thing: none of the three, there are three people who could possibly lend him an ear and pretend to listen to him, that give him that satisfaction, and that's Paul Heyman, Triple H, or HBK.
I don't know. I could see Paul Heyman heel turning. Vince, gotta go.
I could too. I could too. I think he's the least likely to listen to him.
It's like, bring. Hey, oh yeah, dude. Hey, man, just enjoy your retirement. Don't worry about us. We got this. Click.
I mean, with HBK is probably more likely to listen. They're spooning. He's like, just like the good days. So I got an idea for Braun. What if we called him Braun Steiner?
And HBK's like stuck in between. Be like, but Triple H is my best friend. I couldn't betray him like that. There's no way Vince is pitching calling him a Steiner. There's no way.
But Vince is like, come on, who's my little spoon?
He's like, but Daddy, Triple H will be angry. We'll be angry. Oh man.
I just wonder though, like if he'll be the same as most of the other bookers that once their company was no longer theirs, they desperately started to get involved in booking in any other company they could.
I mean,
and for Vince,
it would be insane.
With Vince, is it just, does Vince make his own new wrestling company?
I mean,
theoretically, if Vince wanted to, he could very easily start his own wrestling company.
He definitely could. The problem is, outside of his daddy's company, he's always failed. This is what a lot of people don't fucking tell you about Vince. He took over his dad's company and got a deal on the company while being in the biggest fucking region. They leave that part out of a self-made man.
Yeah.
But he gave up on the XFL. He gave up on the bodybuilding. He would be like, shoot it to the moon, and he'd be like, God damn it! Now we got wrestling with cannonballs and naked women. You shoot cannons at the naked women. Vince, what does that have to do with wrestling? It's extreme. And then like it would fucking bomb after week 1, and then
I do think it would bomb. I do think it would bomb, but I think undeniably, I think that he has the sway, the swagger, the connections, and the money to probably be able to get a shitty TV deal.
Do you think
Huh?
No, he'll definitely get a TV deal. He's hooked up in that audience. I bet you it would be a great TV deal.
Yeah, I
like
imagine
NBC.
that they would present it as like Vince McMahon's, and then the title of the wrestling show.
Vince McMahon's WrestleFest. Vince McMahon's WrestleMania.
It would just be Vince's.
Oh no! There's no way he adds the word wrestling. It's Vince McMahon Sports Entertainment.
Oh God.
VMSE. We got this, boys.
Honestly, with the way he books and writes now, he should just try and sell. If he decides to make his own company, he should just try and sell it to a network as a daytime soap, and just run dailies. He doesn't sleep anyways. He'd love it.
He's like, we're on it. We're on it. Oh man. But we wish him nothing but the best. But yeah, I think TKO kind of bamboozled him. So in the comments,
oh yeah, they got him.
TKO bamboozled him or did not bamboozle him. You know, I know like it's usually people that don't have money are like, but he's got tons of money. But once you have a certain amount of money, you want more than just that.
Vince is obsessed with his job in wrestling. I don't think he knows how to live without it.
What do you think his new hobby is? Like, my thing is, do you think he starts a podcast? Do you think he starts a podcast? No, he wouldn't start a podcast. Maybe
God,
just
could you
yelling.
imagine?
Oh, he would definitely get canceled in 10 seconds.
To a podcast
oh, I would too. But
every fucking week I would listen to that man's
But
podcast.
Here's the thing. He would probably be coked out of his mind an 8-hour podcast where it's just yelling at people. It doesn't even make sense. Like,
I don't know. I think it's got to be with someone as a handler. But here's a question though.
Yeah.
What if he gets ousted, or after this, and Shane approaches him and he's like, "Hey, remember how I wanted to buy ECW? Remember how I wanted to do this? What if now we do it? What if now we buy this one and we go into business?"
But got NWA, AEW.
Well, not NWA. NWA's got the TV deal and it's owned by a guy with a huge ego. No offense.
Actually, what about Impact, dude? What if he just buys Impact?
That's possible.
Just go over there, buy some Impact, be like, "Hey, how you doing? This is Vince McMahon's Impact." Because here's the thing: there's no way Vince doesn't put his name on it.
Oh no, absolutely, his name goes on. But I don't think it would be Impact. I think if Shane came to him trying to pitch for them to do one, it would have to be someone smaller. Like someone who hasn't already been labeled a failure by Vince.
Like GCW or one of those guys?
Yeah, like if you try and get him to do it with one he already sees as a failure, I think he instantly writes the idea off.
Or does he just... I think he starts his own thing. I don't know.
I think him starting his own is also possible. But I really do think if he gets ousted, there's no way he can walk away from wrestling.
And here's the thing. What do you think his hobby is? Are you thinking RC cars, painting,
I guarantee
hockey jerseys?
His hobby is the best. Actually, you know what? The best thing they could get for this man is an assistant to sit there and book an EFED game for him, and just sit there and book an EFED game for him while he plays it all day.
He's like, "I got this."
Yeah, just get him hooked on some EFED game. Because his whole life's been wrestling. All he does is work out, try to bang women younger than him, force himself on women sometimes,
allegedly.
give them money afterwards,
Allegedly.
and then
I love that people paint
book
him as a
wrestling.
saint. Oh, man. Vince, I hope you find happiness wherever you go, but you're losing power. And another place that Vince McMahon is losing power, Bill Simmons, I think of ESPN, or formerly of ESPN, they've been trying to make this Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix. And Netflix went away because of two reasons. One, the sexual conduct stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And the second one is Vince is famously known for lying. Like, he was going to do a documentary on the steroid trial, and he wrote like a paragraph, and like 6 of them were lies. Like, he had 6
Nice.
lies inside the paragraph. So Bill Simmons on Vince McMahon having no say over final cut for upcoming Vince McMahon documentary. To me, you know, he gets to look at clips, but he does not get notes on the final part. We have Vince McMahon documentary that we've been working on for 3 years. I think it has a chance to be really great. I think it has a chance to be the best one I've been involved with. It'll be interesting to see what people think about that one. It was a lot of time and one where Netflix has final cut and it's a little more old school than 30 for 30 model was. I think there's a chance to be really special. Here's the thing.
For how much of his life has been documented, if they have access to all the footage they can get, depending on how long they've been following him too and how actively, this could be the longest documentary. It could be a fucking mini series. Like this documentary.
It's be like the Chicago Bulls, the Chicago Bulls ESPN documentary.
Dude, it's massive. Like even if you avoid allegations and stuff, you have so much content there to go through. And if you start going into the allegations that are over the years that have been associated with him and the scandals of the WWE that he has basically personally handled, it gets even worse. Like you have, like off the top of my head, Snuka, Benoit,
yeah. Steroid trial.
Oh god, yeah, steroid trial. There's just the whole flight thing.
Flight from
Saudi
Hell.
Arabia, flight from hell. The list is massive, and then you have the crazy stories that you get about him. If like even a third of these are videoed and documented to where they can use them, or or they have more than just him able to like verify and talk about him, then I think that alone is an insane amount of content for a documentary. Because like just zany shitty, you have who was the wrestler that he fought on an airplane because he said something to the wrestler and someone else told the wrestler that you had to fight him or he wouldn't respect you, and it was true. Was it Kofi Kingston?
It might have been. I have no idea. There's been a couple examples of that and him taking moves, and not a Bret Hart. And a lot of these things, these side adventures, could be documentaries on their own.
Yeah.
Like his little side adventures could be that. And here's the thing: even if Vince McMahon does have a final say, saying this makes it interesting. Because before I read this headline, I had no interest in watching it. If Vince McMahon was going to tell the story, I had no interest.
Yeah.
And as far as everyone liking it or not liking it, I think it's because he's so good at propaganda, so good at marketing, that he's one of those powerful people that no matter how long the list of horrible things he's done, people will be like, not our guy. He gave us our childhood, you know. So,
he's in an odd place because he is similar to Trump in where he, at the peak of his celebrity, while being a man who's viewed as wealthy or successful in business, financially super well off, he is also, even if he's in that tax bracket, he is also kind of like the exception from how they're treated because he's a mega celebrity at the same time.
Yeah, but he has
like he was a personality for the company during its greatest era and rivaled their greatest stars. Like it's hard to take that out.
And there's a lot of losers in society that feel his success is their success, and there's also like you get to pretend to be him. Like how many times do you go to indie event and the guy who's in charge of the indie event acts like Vince McMahon? How often do you meet a person in business that has no idea how fucking business works, but they act like Vince McMahon? He's almost like a power fantasy for loser dudes. I mean, I've probably met thousands of people that hate Vince McMahon and act exactly like Vince McMahon. So it's,
I've not met a lot of Vince McMahon impersonators.
oh, dude, you got to go to indies. If you go, look, entertainment, pro wrestling, sports, because they all think that's how it is. It's like if you have the dumbest human being on planet Earth and you place them in a meeting, they're like, well, I'll be like Vince. Like, people think that's how business is done, especially in the pro wrestling business, especially in entertainment business, especially, it's just they have no experience in real business, and they're like, that's exactly how it is. Yeah. And yeah, so I've met too many. Like, because, like, here's the thing, especially when you have a successful business in wrestling or in sports, someone comes by and be like, yeah, I'm going to be just like Vince McMahon and take us to the top. It's like, all right, you're going to be the Vince McMahon that bought the company from his father and made smart decisions like WrestleMania and took a risk
So you're
about
saying
taking
we got to
over?
watch out for Tony Khan's son when he has one.
Possibility. I honestly think Tony Khan and Vince McMahon are the same person, just Vince puts on an act. I honestly think they're the same person.
I think if this documentary is being honest, if even a third of the stories we've heard are true, it's going to be mind-blowing for people who aren't like smarks.
Yeah.
I desperately hope they have the ketchup burrito freaking out or sneeze freaking out shit. Where like if they don't get his lunch right or if they sneeze. I hope one of those freakouts is in there.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the same thing. Well, I mean, what's his name in business was the same way too. Shit, who's the guy that died in Apple? Steve Jobs.
Bill Gates?
No,
Oh no,
I think Bill
Bill
Gates is
Gates
still
is
alive and
and
he's Microsoft.
Windows. Yeah, I don't know.
But Steve Jobs has this reputation, but like, they just focus on like a few of his outbursts. He wasn't that way like all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. So
My question is, to me, it's one of those things where if I find out it's like an hour, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'll watch it, but I this is gonna be like very mediocre because an hour is not gonna be enough to cover Vince McMahon. I don't think that is
yeah,
one fucking wild story to cover in an hour. I feel like it's got to be like a 5-6 episode series.
I agree, and all that, but like, an hour will either be a hit piece or it'll be a fluff piece. There won't be any actual good content in it if it's only an hour. It's either going to be he's horrible, he's horrible, he's horrible, he's horrible, or he's great, he's great, he's great, and you're not going to get the truth in an hour.
I think you split it up into like 5 or 6. You do one that focuses on his earlier life, the territories, that era.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, you could do a whole chapter on WrestleMania.
That's true, but then I don't think they would ever do that. That would be better left to like WWE, you know?
Yeah.
Because if it's that intense, I think then you do another one on like the whole of the once WWE started all the way up until like the modern era, basically. Not current day, but like I'd say until the end of the Attitude Era. Just kind of condense that into one, just because it's more about him. It's not about the WWE during that time. So, like, I would say that's a good period to cover for him again.
Well, also the steroid trial.
Oh yeah. Well, I would save that. I would mention it, and then I'd come back to it, and then I'd do another episode where it's basically from the end of the Attitude Era up until modern day in wrestling to when he leaves wrestling in TKO. I think, or when he steps back, I think that would be a great close to that part because you've told his story in wrestling then. And then after that, I would have one that's his failures. And that would be the one where I talk about the steroid trial, the XFL, the workout.
World Body Federation thing.
Yeah. And I would talk about those things. Because you've already spent three. At that point, you spent three basically telling like the good things about him, and then you tell where he's failed, and then I would say you tell the scandals, and the scandals I'd do like a weird one episode or like the ugly or whatever, and you start off with like silly shit like him flipping out over sneezing and stuff, and then you go into like Snuka, all that, and I think that's where you close it with.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like the YouTube format. Start with the positive and then go towards the negative.
I think that's the best way to do it because you start with the positive so that people who are more interested in the person but are less receptive toward negative criticism of the person because of idolism,
Yeah.
those people are more likely to become so engaged at that point and enthralled that they then continue forward into the bad.
Yeah, yeah.
At least that's my logic
No,
on
no,
it.
no. It does make sense. I would sprinkle it in, but your way makes way more sense for the YouTube audience. Like YouTube all the time is like start with the positive and never mention the negative or put it way in the back of the video. So, but yeah,
I think it'll be fascinating though if they give it at least if it has at least 2 to 3 hours of runtime. I think it'll be fascinating.
I don't know if I said this already, but I want to end on this. Bill Simmons bringing this out made this a billion times more interesting.
Yeah.
Without this
Yeah,
headline, I don't watch it. Without if Vince
agree.
has cutting or they don't mention it, if they don't make it clear that Vince doesn't have complete power over this, it's not worth watching. We have the WWE Network. But him saying, "Oh, he doesn't have power," makes it a lot more interesting.
In fact, if you can get him to come out and make a statement against it, complaining that he didn't have any say, I would put that on the cover.
Yeah, Vince like, "This is a bunch of bullshit." Like, put it in.
I had no final say on this. This isn't what I approved. Put that on the cover, guys.
You know he's making his own. If this makes him look bad, he's making his own documentary the second the credits roll.
Oh yeah.
The second the credits roll, he's like,
Vince McMahon's a story of Vince McMahon. It's gonna be like suddenly Triple H is walking around the house and Stephanie's like, Paul, have you heard from my dad lately? He's gonna be like, actually, no, not all week.
It's weird because he always
he
tells
dead?
me storylines. Yeah.
We should check on him. And they go over there and he's just fucking got a typewriter and he's just going to town writing his manuscript and there's pages everywhere and he's been working on his own biography. His own documentary.
And the best part of it all is that I could see it. Like, remember when Mr. Burns made his own video about his life? That's how it will be. That's how it will be.
Oh yeah, I imagine him playing himself and reshooting segments.
And even the young version, he'd still him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he's going back and like it's supposed to be behind the scenes like it's labeled behind the scenes footage WrestleMania 1, and it's clearly him dressed up as him then. I mean, being like the most positive guy ever to wrestlers before they go out there for their match and stuff like that. And he's got like cosplayers dressed as Hulk Hogan and stuff.
He's like this super positive. Who's that one soccer coach TV show that's on like Apple or Amazon or something? Blasso? Fuck.
I don't know.
There's this soccer coach that's like insanely positive. That's how Vince is gonna paint his picture.
Oh, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. He's gonna paint it like Mr. Burns meets Ted Lasso. That's gonna be him. Mr. Burns meets Ted Lasso. And not Mr. Burns like who Mr. Burns is, how Mr. Burns envisions himself.
And he's gonna touch on the scandals, but only so that he can counterpoint them. Like he's gonna be like the way he'll touch on the Chris Benoit thing is he'll be getting ready at the pay-per-view, and it'll be clearly him dressed up as back then, and then he'll have Triple H walk over and be like, "Hey, I just got some bad news," because Triple H is a terrible actor, mind you. So it's gonna be.
Have
bad.
You seen him in that one? Fucking
the Chaperone?
The Chaperone.
Yeah, it's awful. I've seen all of his movies, and they're all bad. I
Wasn't he
honestly,
in Blade?
Yeah, and he was terrible in Blade. He hated Chihuahuas, I think, or something on it. I don't remember. He was awful. He's not a good actor. I'm sorry, Triple H, you suck. Great wrestler, good booker, bad actor.
Maybe he has to
But
go to
yeah,
Hollywood.
I imagine Triple H is gonna come over and just be like, "I got some bad news," and then hand him like a note, and then Vince is gonna be like, "No," and then they're gonna cut to like a little like just text over like Vince found out that Chris Benoit blah blah blah, but Vince going forward made changes to fix this.
I think,
And he's not gonna mention that they did a tribute episode the next day.
no. Like, he'll be like, as soon as I heard they were in trouble, I started running towards the house. I couldn't make it in time. No, not all that, but he could Eric Bischoff this. Please do yourself a favor. Read Eric Bischoff's book. It's fucking hilariously bad.
Actually,
but
oh my god.
no, I say he hires Eric Bischoff and he Eric Bischoffs this. He's like, and then my dad begged me to take over the company. Then the other territory said, please, Vince, save us.
No, I just realized he can win this easily if he decides to do his own counter one and make it a puff piece. He could easily crush. All he has to do is wait. TKO is going to start cutting those Legends deals for a lot of those Legends, I think. I don't think all the Legends are going to keep their Legend deals. All Vince has to do is swoop in and be like, I always took care of you, right? And then pay them to be in his documentary about him and make it a huge puff piece. And since it'll be full of like wrestlers like basically sitting there and being like, oh yeah, Vince was a great guy, and talking up these bullshit stories that Vince has fabricated for them to go with, it would go, people would buy it 100%.
And you know who would be number one right there,
Hulk
sitting
Hogan.
on that couch? Hulk Hogan. Hulk
It was
Hogan and John Cena.
In my head, and I didn't want to say it, but in my head, I was picturing Hulk Hogan the whole time.
Hulk Hogan and John Cena would be the first one there. Be like, dang.
It won't be John Cena, I don't think.
Oh, well, definitely John Cena.
Not yet.
I think,
Not yet.
I guarantee. When he was in trouble, he still took his spot.
That's true. He won't. That's true. Because what are they going to do? Cut off John Cena?
Yeah.
Be like, we're not selling any of your merch and giving you the money.
Nope.
He's like, all right. So
John will be on the couch and be like, he saved my life. He's such a great guy.
I was a drug addict. I weighed 97 pounds. You ever see that movie, Captain America? I was like that guy. And Vince found me and he said, I see something in you, kid. And he took me off the streets. That's why I used to do the rapping, the thugonomics. And Vince educated me. He brought me back.
And it's like, I say never give up because he never gave up on me.
He used to breastfeed me HGH breast milk that he made himself.
And Hulk Hogan would be like, when me and Noki were in Metallica, that's when Vince discovered us.
Yeah, brother, we were playing a road show with Metallica, about to record our first big CD, when Vince saw us on stage and said, brother, I've got another idea for you. And I was like, what do you think? Should we do it? And hell yes, we did it, brother. Sadly, we'll never know if Metallica would have been the same with us. But
I mean, with Hogan and Inoki and Vince, Metallica could have shot to the moon.
Also, I think Hogan's stipulation is he wants to be shot in the camera angle, so it always shows his like below his waist in the camera, and he's gonna sit so that his legs propped up so that you can see his thigh, and he's gonna have his pants stuffed like with an eggplant that goes out to his knee, and he's just gonna be like, "Yeah,
take
brother,
that, Gawker."
Vince has always been great to me, and he's never gonna mention it, but it's always gonna be there.
Listen, Vince, you win me over with your own version of a documentary if you have him dress up as Mr. USA in the documentary.
I'll be honest. If he came out with his own rebuttal puff piece,
that would be amazing.
I would watch that because I'd want to see how fucking wild it gets.
Oh, dude, he would be the hero every fucking time.
He would be amazing in it. He would be so good.
And
he'd be, in fact, his exit from WWE and TKO and all that would be him like telling Triple H how like he thinks he's ready to take over, and he believes in him, and he's gonna step back because he's got other things he wants to do with his life.
Yeah. And Triple H is played by like a real skinny kid going, but I can't do it without you, Dad.
No, I figure he just has Hulk Hogan wearing like a Triple H wig, and it's just shot so that you can only see the back of Hulk Hogan, and he's just wearing a business suit with a Triple H wig. But if you like look at his hands, you can tell the hot dog color.
Oh man,
And when
there's
he only replies in like one word, "Yeah, brother."
it's a 57 episode spectacular documentary, but 3 of the episodes are just him working out. It's just him working out.
Yeah, it's him and Sheamus doing workouts.
Oh man. From one crazy CEO to another. Our good old boy Tony Khan. This little thing. Let's read his Twitter. He's upset. He's gone a little crazy on the Twitter machine. This weekend marks 1 year. You know, like either this was a Facebook reminder or he's been just grinding at the teeth for the full year. Because, like, you know, Facebook reminders always do that. They're like, hey, remember that one time you lost everything?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, thanks.
1 year ago.
This weekend marks 1 year since the Mayo Clinic saved my mom's life. Now I feel kind of bad making fun of him, but that's hence why he put that. That's definitely why he put it there. Yeah. Moving on. During our ordeal, many AEW talent came to me alleging WWE tampering, including them to break their contracts. I'll never forget these phone calls. At our side in the hospital, it's when business became personal for me. Now it's personal. So he goes on, this is nothing new. I mentioned this last year. She came home. It's relevant today because she checked in for surgery 1 year ago today. I've mentioned several times since. Mayo Clinics are heroes. Thanks to them. And recovery, well, it looks like a miracle. So, all right. Well, let's tip the hat, Miss Khan. I hope you have a long, healthy life. Tony, really upset about the whole contract situation. And I don't know if you should be making this public. Like,
well, he keeps complaining about it. Like, everyone already pointed out that the Regal thing was a little sus because, you know, WWE had, like, it's being reported now that WWE allegedly had a position already ready for him to go, and it was just a done deal that he just had to get out of AEW, and he was there. And he went to him while he was in the hospital, which I think is what pisses him off more about it now. And the other one was Swerve Strickland allegedly got contacted.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a reunion.
Hit Row reunion. And from what it was reported, sent it to his lawyer. But here's the thing. Okay, I get what Tony's saying, but first, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. Are you going to talk about Jeff Hardy then?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to talk about Jeff Hardy's really weird exit from WWE directly into AEW? Are we going to pretend that's not a thing? Are we going to talk about the fact that Sting openly said Tony Khan was talking to him while he was under contract about setting up a contract? No, because none of those things matter. Tampering isn't a real thing. Contract tampering does not apply in the wrestling world. It's only a thing in sports leagues because sports leagues are signed into a contracted deal together, which prevents them from contract tampering. It's against the rules of their league. They would be in violation of their league's rules and the law-binding contracts that they signed in those leagues. That's the only reason it becomes illegal there. It's not illegal in WWE and AEW's instance. They could contract tamper all they fucking want.
Yeah, and the big thing is make sure you get a lawyer. So make sure you get a lawyer. And the sport leagues, they definitely police themselves. This is kind of hard to prove in court. And from state to state, from company to company, it's different. Like, I used to be
you have to be able to, from my understanding, you have to be able to prove that they basically screwed things over to get out of a contract kind of a deal.
It's very difficult to prove. It's not an easy thing to prove. And like I said, let's just say, hey, make sure you have a lawyer. I have a lawyer for every contract I sign. I have a lawyer that looks out for the best of my interest. I am pro fucking lawyers because the world is a horrible place. With that said, I don't think you should go public with this. And second off, especially if you took in guys from them that were a bit questionable. And
yeah,
I've worked in all different types of entertainment, all different types of high-end contracts. And I'd get recruited all the fucking time. I would get recruited all the time. And,
Mhm.
you know, I went to the Tokyo Game Show. What they're doing is recruiting each other. You know, it just happens all the time. So I
Yeah.
don't understand. It's
It's
hard to
usually, it only
prove.
becomes a problem if people put it in their contract that it's like, oh, you can't work within this industry within blah 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 period, those sort of a thing,
Yeah, like the
where it
90-day
makes it
no
where you're
compete and
not
all
allowed
that.
to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's a stupid thing to get upset about, and when you've been doing it yourself, it's even worse, I think.
Yeah. And you also too, like, everywhere has different laws. So you have like the 90-day no compete, but you could probably sue them to get out of that. The problem is it would take longer than 90 days to get, you know what I mean, to go to court.
Not only that, but let's be realistic. If you really wanted to get around the 90-day no compete, like, all right, hypothetically, let's say, uh, for this is a hypothetical. We're going
All right.
crazy.
All right, let's go.
Um,
Let's get nuts.
W, WWE releases Roman Reigns.
All right.
TKO decides, health issues, all that. It's not worth paying him what we're paying him for as
That would
little
be
as
a
he's
PR
around,
nightmare,
blah,
but
blah,
go
blah.
on.
It would be. It would be. But we're in this crazy hypothetical
All right.
world
We're going.
where,
We're going.
uh, so naturally, AEW is like, shit, we want to snap him up immediately. He's hot. He's super hot. Let's grab him. AEW grabs him. But they don't want to, 90-day no compete. They could just go to Mexico. They could just go to Japan and just do a show with that CMML sets up in Mexico, CMLL sets up in Mexico, or a
Yeah, we're
show that
together.
they do through Noah or New Japan in Japan, and they could just have them work there, and it doesn't. I'm pretty sure the no competes don't apply outside of the U.S.
Well, I know each state is different, each country is different, and that's
It's
why you should
I don't
definitely
think they
get a
could
lawyer.
enforce it outside of it. I would, yeah, obviously get a lawyer,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they could just go to outside the country and be like, well, good luck trying to enforce it.
It just seems like either
Also,
he's trying to rally people the wrong way, or he's just mad that pro wrestling isn't ran as smooth as the other sports leagues. But anyone that's ever seen pro wrestling is like, oh yeah, that's definitely not as smooth. Like the
yeah,
NFL, that's just smooth. The soccer leagues, it's pretty smooth. There's more corruption in the soccer leagues than there are in the
but
NFL.
they're also a lot bigger,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
So
lot more teams.
it's one of those things. It's like, are you complaining that it's just the way it is? I'm just not sure why. Like, here's the thing. Me and Sid are Twitch streamers. Me and Rant and Review are novelists. We all have different gigs. What me and Sid complain about behind the scenes makes no sense to make public. You know what I mean? It makes no
Yeah,
sense. No one gives a shit, you know? But I guess, but then again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe professionals don't give a shit, but the drama queens probably do.
well, I think honestly, the reason he brings it up is more. I think the Regal one's more personal to him because he was in the hospital seeing his mom when it all went down. So I
Yeah.
think he feels more betrayed by that, and I think that one just bothers him more. And I think he's just pissed about it and kind of yelling at clouds at this point. Like, I think he saw the Facebook reminder about his mom in the hospital a year ago and was like, oh shit, that's right. Fucking Triple H and Regal. Because he was already pissed off about Triple H and HBK this week, as per his Twitter last week.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he already had it on his head because all anybody was talking about was him on Twitter and that stuff. Um, so yeah, I could 100% see him just being like, "Oh yeah, I remember," and then being like, "Oh, and also, I'm justified for being mad because of this."
Yeah, yeah. And, when you're a small YouTuber, you try to reply to every comment. When you're a small Twitch streamer, you try to reply to every comment. Tony, you're not a small YouTuber. You're not a small Twitch streamer. You're not, you can just fucking walk away. Like, I feel like people know how to walk away from Twitter more than he does. Cuz
Well,
obviously
I
there's
think
a benefit to writing everything out. But at the same time, he's just angry all the fucking time, and it's just like you're mad
Well,
about
all right.
how the system works, but it's the fucking
I'm going to
system.
expose exactly why he's doing it, why he does it.
All right.
Because you can tell by how active he is on Twitter. I guarantee you that what he does is for him scrolling through Twitter on his phone down the timeline.
Yeah.
I guarantee, or even like searching for Tony Khan mentions or AEW mentions or some wrestler he's interested in looking for, and just scrolling down it is what he does while he's like thinking, while he's idling, while he's waiting for anything. And if he's awake and working as much as people say, there's a lot of in between time where he's going to be sitting there thinking, etc. You know what I mean? Just scrolling with it in his phone
Yeah.
while he's doing it. Checks the text, then it's still in his phone. Goes. He probably has his phone out in his hand almost all the time with how busy he is. So I imagine he's just scrolling it in between doing shit all the time, replying to shit on there. Or I'm going to expose him a little bit here. He's probably also getting some ideas that way. Scrolling, seeing someone with a fantasy book idea once in a blue moon that's actually not bad, that he's like, I'll go that way.
Who's gonna know? Fucking Tim Tam 7 only has 6 viewers.
Who's gonna know? Nobody liked this guy's post. Nobody even knows. It's at the bottom of 700 replies.
Fuck you, Tim Tam.
And they'll just say he got lucky. He just guessed and was lucky. But yeah, I guarantee that it's just he's scrolling through it and he's reacting. He's just reactionary. But I guarantee it's because he scrolls through it all the fucking time.
Yeah. It could get a little bit negative, and not that, but there's not many genuine voices out there, and there's also voices that are like, I'm gonna do this to benefit. It's like we know you're doing it to benefit, you know.
Well, it's also because like he'll reply to things that, from what I've seen, people will say he hasn't even been tagged in. Like they haven't added him; they just had like his name in it.
Yeah.
So to get that, like you're putting in a little effort to be finding those. So you're definitely on a lot.
Yeah. Two things need to happen. One, because I'm not saying don't use social media, because a lot of people use social media the correct way. One, you have to. If you're small and you're not, you just react to the good and the bad. Like, oh man, thanks. Hey, dude, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? But when you're as big as him, just react to the fucking nice ones, the kind ones. You're not gonna fucking win anyone over. Listen, no one has changed their fucking mind, and ever in their whole fucking life, in a Twitter comment.
Yeah.
When's the last time you're at a fucking bar and you're like, hey, I don't fucking drink anymore? Why not, Joe? I was in a fucking Twitter argument and that guy had a great fucking point. Hey, dude, I was gonna vote for fucking Evil Guy 1, but now I vote for Evil Guy 2. How come, Joe? Goddamn Twitter convinced me. Like, that's just not going to happen. So,
and on the topic of contract tampering, it's just like, let it go, dude. It doesn't exist between you and WWE the way that it does for you as the Jaguars.
Yeah, because the NFL wants to protect its product.
Yeah.
There is no NFL of pro wrestling, even though people are like, oh, it's WWE. It's not WWE. WWE is its own thing. AEW
it's because in the NFL, it's more like the different teams are more like
franchises,
different managers of one corporation, of one store. You know what I mean? They're just different managers.
And on top of that, you know, the NFL is guaranteed to make profit. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the reason they protect it that way.
Yeah.
They're protecting its image as a whole and keeping everyone collectively happy, because their collective happiness is their collective success.
Yeah.
And they're greedy fucks.
Tony, focus on what AEW was, and you're too big to respond to every comment. We're not. We still respond to every comment, but maybe one day we'll. On Twitter, I don't respond to every tweet. I got
remember what the Frozen girl says. When you think about the contracts that have escaped you, let it go. Let it go. Andrade was definitely also tampered with. If you want to claim tampering, let it go.
Let it go. Speaking of let it go, Over the Edge, another angry guy. You know, this has to be a work.
I feel like it
This
has to be a work too.
There's no
I
way
just can't
it's real.
believe that he got that upset over that comment.
Oh man. So Edge, according to the internet reports, is upset because they shot on each other. If this is true, if it's okay, if they're working us, stop. It's not entertaining. It's fucking boring, and it makes your roster look fucking dumb. All right, let's get the "they're working your brother" crowd out of the way, okay? If Edge is upset and they're mad at each other for shooting on each other and they're working you, stop it. No one wants to buy fucking tickets. Second off, why was Edge out there? Like the Edge.
I think they were just replacing the opening promo thing by having everyone out there for whatever reason. I think that was what they were trying to do, but
Get that opening promo back. Get that opening promo back.
I honestly, I liked it, and I didn't know people thought he was legit upset, and I went and rewatched it again, and I was like, all right, I could see how he looks kind of pissed. I could see how you could make that argument, but like, is Edge really gonna get that thrown off and that upset over being called bug-eyed?
If he is, it cracks me up. Because the thing is, all WWE superstars are like, yeah, I want the fucking freedom to say whatever I want. But I don't think they realize people can say shit back.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you fucking harass someone that's bigger than you, and then they fucking fight back. You're like, what? Or when someone is famous and they say, hey, don't be a fucking dickhead. You know?
Well, I just imagine, because there's always that courtesy thing of like, hey, these are the off-limit things.
Yeah, but
I just imagine afterwards, if he was really mad, he goes back and like, he's like, what are you upset for? You didn't say don't say bug eyes. He's like, I didn't think I had to.
I don't, because if they worked us, stop it. Just stop. Bad AEW.
Well,
bad AEW. If he was legit, go ahead.
I think it has to be a work because he said vanilla midget standing right next to Daniel Bryan. That's got to be an intentional joke.
And he's like, don't talk to me. Talk to him.
There's no world he just looked over at Daniel Bryan and was like, oh, yeah, that was a good one. Vanilla midget.
Well, I mean, that's why he was leaning back like, oh, fuck. I off the cuff and I might have pissed off my own boy.
Oh.
Maybe it's not. But, yeah. If it's a work, stop. If it's a shoot, holy shit, you guys are fucking mentally goddamn weak. Because here's the thing. If it's a shoot, all right, let's just live in the lane where it's a shoot. Don't you guys always say, oh, I want freedom to say whatever I want? And then they always break down and fucking cry and, like, ruining everything.
See, if it's a work, I had fun with it. I kind of want to see the story continue. I want to see what comes of it, if anything.
Edge is going to win. They're giving him everything. He's the new CM Punk. No, I'm calling it right now. He's the new CM Punk.
To believe this.
He's getting everything. They start the show and end the show with him. They are giving him everything.
I refuse to believe
everything. And a nice little ribbon. Okay, they're going to put it in. Nice little ribbon. Here you go. What do you got? Fucking everything.
I don't believe this because if anything, for one, if they were doing that, they'd be calling it everything. They wouldn't be calling it everything. It would be everything. Okay.
True. Very true.
But they're not. He's not going to beat Ricky Starks too.
Oh, he's going to.
No, Ricky Starks always goes over.
I don't. What's Ricky Starks' record? Records matter. I don't think Ricky Starks has always gone over.
In the tag team division, he's won.
And he like 1-0 in the tag team division.
Yeah, they're champions. Transitionary champions, baby.
Oh my god.
Your goal is to transfer the belt to the Bucks.
I think they're giving him everything. Is that how you're saying it? Everything?
Yeah, everything.
They're giving him everything. He's the new CM Punk. They're gonna ride it out, and that's it. It's over.
I don't think so.
I think we've gone full Dixie Carter.
I think we've gone full
Dixie Carter.
I want to believe it's not full Dixie.
We got two topics now. A, he's getting everything. I can't say it right.
I disagree.
And B, if he's really sensitive, you are so fucking mentally weak. That's it. You're just a fucking mentally weak person.
He got upset by that and lost his shit. It's funny as fuck.
I just like, what the fuck?
It becomes hilarious to me.
Oh, it would be fucking hilarious. It would just be like, but here's my thing. Do you think Vince is like, just go down there and be a fucking dick? Punk's like, I'm on it. Edge is like, I'm on it. Bryan Danielson's like, I'm not gonna be a dick. Boo.
Nah, I think Edge really does just want to wrap his career up with
Christian.
Yeah. I think Tony Khan's just, I got a new action figure.
I think we're going full Dixie. I
hope
because here's why we're going full Dixie, but we're going there a different way. We're taking a right turn instead of a left turn to go full Dixie. Because the Elite,
we're just going high work rate there.
Well, they're gonna go high work rate, but they're gonna give all the former WWE guys everything because the Elite are like, well, someone on Twitter said we can't be champs because we are in charge.
So what? You're saying it's like ROH and TNA had a baby?
Yeah.
That's sad.
I think they were something special. And I think CM Punk was, all right, we got this. All right, just replace him. All right. Because think about it. The main event, 2 WWE guys. Edge. And that's the thing, because they're listening to the wrong critics.
Yeah, but that's not even the part. If I think of the last week of AEW, that's not even close to like top 3 segments for me.
Yeah. I think they're giving
I
them...
don't even think of it as being a big segment.
I think they're giving them everything.
Especially in a week where we got to see Danielson and Swerve.
Oh yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah,
we get to see more of that. Who won over?
Swerve, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was Daniel Bryan. Shall we check?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I just remember it was an amazing match.
Daniel Bryan, Swerve, results.
Oh, wait. Yeah. He tried to cheat and he couldn't.
Yeah, so Bryan won, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Dixie Carter.
Well, no,
Dixie
I think
Con.
Danielson winning isn't bad. He's in his
Dixie
last
Con.
year run. He's been doing amazing shit for the company. He's jobbed out a ton of times so far. I think Danielson has avoided becoming champion. I feel like Danielson getting a great run to wrap up is totally okay. If he goes around just destroying people, having banker matches, and it ends with him super putting over someone else, I'm totally okay with it. I feel 100% confident that Danielson will not go out just stomping out everyone, that he will lose his last match.
And do you feel that way about Edge? Do you feel that way about Chris Jericho? Do you feel
Edge
that way
solo?
about Moxley? Do you feel that? Do you notice a pattern here?
I do feel that way about Moxley.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Edge, I also think. I think if Edge and Christian are teamed up, definitely will go out losing to putting up over a real tag team. I think they would want to put over what they consider a real tag team, and based off the team that Edge loves so much, I think it would be FTR.
Bring. Hello? Oh, a couple months ago. Yeah, Edge put over Finn Balor in the cage, right?
Okay, but we can't.
Goodbye.
We have to assume. I'm assuming that it's a different company and that he's not making the decisions all the time.
I know, but I think it's easier to put yourself over in AEW as a former WWE guy because he's Dixie Con.
I don't know. I choose to believe that won't be.
Well, that's the thing. It's either he has to stand up and give the fans what they want, or he has to bow down to his new action figures, and he'll just be Dixie Con for the rest of his life. And the thing is, he's worried about contract tampering, where his whole company can go down the fucking shitter because he doesn't realize he's Dixie Carter. Like, the things he's worried about on Twitter isn't the shit he should be worried about. He should be worried about, because everyone's like, oh, we're building him up for the future. All right. Where's this future? Is it fucking 7-8 years down the line? Because guess what happens when Edge fucking flips out and leaves? That's right, we got Sheamus. Guess what happens when Sheamus flips out and leaves? That's right, we got Drew McIntyre. Guess what happens when Drew McIntyre flips out and leaves? That's right, we have Kofi Kingston. I don't think there is a future. I think he went full Dixie Con. And Edge Bug Eyes was the cake.
I look at where the titles are right now, and I'm still optimistic.
Yeah, and hopefully they stay that way, and hopefully, I think he has more problem. He has more problems inside the ring than outside the ring, but I don't think he realizes that, and that's scary. And Edge, just do the right thing, baby. You bug-eyed fuck.
God, I hope he's not really that sensitive.
I think he is, because you got to think about it. In WWE, you're protected.
There's no way, dude. Him and
WWE
Christian
word for
are
word.
so mean to each other.
Yeah. But then it would be like me and you being buddy-buddy, being mean to each other, and some fucking random fucking turkey-ass joins us and starts being mean.
Yeah, but at the same time, if it's something that you get made fun of a lot for, like a core feature, you get immunized to it by your friends teasing you about it.
That's true.
Like, I guarantee his friends have teased him about his bug eyes.
Yeah.
There's
Unless,
no way
like,
that
it's the one thing
chihuahua-faced
that's off.
motherfuckers never had it come up.
Like, right now, I don't know, you can't really tell on camera, but, like, a big part of my jaw and teeth are missing from my crash. But I don't think you can tell on camera. But you can definitely tell in real life, and none of my friends fucking brought it up. So now I'm like, are they just not bringing it up because I fell from had a big time crash? Or they, like, really doesn't notice it. So, yeah. These are things you gotta think about. Fucking bug-eyed.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me going on another podcast and they're like, dude, half your jaw is fucking missing. That's it. Bring it on. Bring it on, you short vanilla midget.
Here's the thing. If it comes out that he really was upset and was really trying to shoot and like shit on Ricky Starks, that's a real easy chant to dude. Bug eyes, bug eyes, bug eyes.
Oh, he's totally fucked.
That's an easy chant to get a crowd doing.
Yeah.
And Ricky Starks ain't afraid to get the crowd chanting.
Yeah.
And God forbid you feud with MJF.
It would be like me going. It would be like me going on another podcast, them making fun of my face being bashed the fuck out, and me going, "Listen here, you filthy raccoon." Like, it doesn't even make sense. None of it makes sense. Oh man, I just hope that Edge does the right thing and AEW does the right thing, because they had something special, and I think all wrestling fans want there to be multiple companies, and they want something special, and they want, like, if you watch WWE, you know what Triple H's vision is. If you watch AEW, you know what Tony Khan's vision is. If you watch New Japan, you know what Ghetto's vision is. You would like that to be there just because you don't want MCU Phase 4. You want it to be going somewhere. What's that?
I have no idea what his vision is.
Who, Ghetto's?
Tony's.
Oh, Tony's?
I know what Ghetto's vision is. It's fucking multi-man matches as fucking far as the eye can see. And then when he looks over on the horizon with Simba, he's like, "What's that dark area?" And he's like, "That's Okada matches where he tries. We never go there."
They tried in England, so they tried.
Yeah.
And they tried to go overseas. That's why there's a big movement here in Japan. They want
send Okada to the U.S.
No, they want they want foreigners to watch New Japan because they only try when foreigners are watching. That's like an actual push. And if you're running out of Japan, that'd be fucking embarrassing. You know, it's an actual push.
Next time I watch New Japan live, I'll tweet at them, just so you know I'm watching from America.
It's like, yeah, fucking step it up, Ghetto.
I better not see all multi-mans, Ghetto. I see that's all that's announced, but I'm hoping you've got a swerve planned for the American audience.
My thing is, what if Edge really does get bummed out by the bug eyes? What if Edge gets bummed out by the bug eyes, and like he did tell him? He's like, cause then he's like, "Listen, dude, just between me and you, man.
I used to get called bug-eyed when I was a kid.
And fucking make me cry and shit. So if you could not bring
that
that up."
My dad used to beat me.
And 2 seconds in, he's like, "Listen here, bug eyes."
Oh man, yeah, like it was on his don't say list, and he's like, "Listen, I don't really care what you say. Just don't bring up my kids, and don't make fun of my bug eyes."
I think it's funnier if the bug eyes are the only thing on the list. It's like, you can make fun of my wife, you can make fun of my kids. But
say whatever you want, dude. Just don't
mention the bug
eyes.
eyes. And the whole time is Fucking, he's just like, don't say anything but Bug Eyes. Don't say anything. Listen here, Bug Eyes. God damn it.
Damn it. I had one thing to not say. And then Edge is just like, you vanilla rock midget, baby Gap clothes wearing.
And it would make a lot more sense if Edge is like, I'm not even talking to you. Talk to him. Like, then it makes more sense. Like, I only asked one thing, buddy. One fucking thing. Don't mention the Bug Eyes. Don't do it. Don't
It's
fucking
cashmere.
do it. Edge, be stronger. Tony, fucking fix your company. All right. Speaking of wonderful things, new movie coming out, Iron Claw. Kind of excited for it. Just saw the trailers. Zac Efron looks humongous. Like, Zac Efron is like one of those guys you're like, whatever, nerd.
Not
okay.
anymore.
Not anymore. You know, like, was he in High School Musical, or am I getting my hunks mixed up?
He was in a High School Musical a long time ago, but he got some surgery done a few years after it to make himself look more masculine, and then since then has been bulking up steadily. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that was
I
true.
forgot. I don't remember if it was nose or jaw.
I mean, his jaw looks handsome as fuck. Let's be completely honest.
But you can definitely, if you look at picture comparisons, you can see it.
Yeah, he does look different in the whole jaw area. But, you know, like when you saw him, you know, fucking get your head in the game, you know, you just fucking hand check that kid right out of bounds. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get your head in the game bullshit musical. Fucking look at this, the old 1-2 fucking Larry Bird. But now with him, you're just like, right this way, sir. Where would you like to sit down? How you doing? I see you've been working out.
Steadily juicing up over the years. Like, he was pretty big in Baywatch. Not this big, but he was getting up.
Yeah.
From High School Musical days.
Yeah, so
he's gonna play a Bane role.
I wouldn't be surprised. So
he's like, yeah, I just want to see how much bigger I can get.
Do you think it's like Edge's Bug Eyes? Like, someone's like, you're really cute, and it just bugged the shit out of him. He's like, give me the man jaw. Give me all the testosterone, allegedly. Give it all to me.
I bet it was that he tried to go and get, like, he probably tried to get in, like, an action movie role or something like that, or even a rom-com role, and was getting rejected for it because they were like, you're too pretty. We want someone more rugged.
Yeah, and he's like, God damn it. He's like, yeah, dude, sorry, it's over. Yeah, and he's like, all right, I gotta be a man's man.
And it just gets in his head.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's like, yeah, if this was just a little bit different.
And now he's completely out of fucking control.
Yeah, fun fact. It was last week.
Does he claim to be a natty?
Oh, no, there's no way he does. I don't think he does. I would be amazed if he does. There's no fucking way he is natural.
I think it's one of those things in Hollywood. People are like, please just don't ask me.
Shit.
Please just don't ask me.
God, I hope if they ask him, he is not honest.
Do you think that's like the Edge Bug Eye thing? Like, don't ask me how I got this big.
I don't think so.
I don't know, because they don't bring it up in Hollywood. Because, like, they're all about who's dating who's wearing what.
No, it comes up sometimes. Like, one that sticks with me is Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He had got really fat, and then he got really buff. And he stayed really buff since. But when he first did it, he was on the talk show, and they were asking him, like, so what was your secret? How'd you get in such great shape? And he's like, yeah, it was really easy. Anybody could do it. So you hire a personal trainer, you hire a personal chef and nutritionist, and you just have them cook all your meals and run you through all your workouts. And you work out every single day and eat exactly what they tell you while they make you everything. It's very easy.
That's simple. Piece of cake.
Yeah. It's my favorite. It always stuck with me because it's just funny. Because he's being honest about how unrealistic it is for most people to aim to get those results in that speed.
I mean, to look like that naturally, or even on the gear, or on the juice. I was trying to like figure out how to get past.
Efron looking that way naturally is possible, but highly improbable.
I don't know. But either way, I think we got.
I do not think that he's natural. There's no effing way.
No.
He is.
I mean, he might lie, but I doubt it.
I don't believe it.
All right.
He
So
looks like an 80s wrestler. I mean, come on. If
he
that's
definitely
not the
does.
quintessential steroids body, I don't know what is.
All right. Now, natty or not natty? Second, it looks pretty damn good. The movie looks
It
pretty
does look
goddamn
good.
good.
It
It
looks
looks like they're
it's
going to
not
talk the
gonna
good and
avoid
the
the
bad of
darker
it.
parts.
Yeah. So I'm kind of
I
excited.
expect
The
it's going to
trailer's
be
up
one
there.
of those like tearjerker, actual emotional movies.
Yeah. And it would make sense with him being in it and him putting so much hard work into it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I
The,
think
the
it
trailer
looks good.
looked the trailer looked amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'll be able to find it. Is it going to movie theaters? Is it going Netflix? Is it going Disney Plus? Or...
It'll definitely go to movie theaters. It's Zac Efron.
Yeah. So if it goes to movie theaters, I definitely want to go see it. It's crazy. Being so many streaming services out there, I'm starting to go to movie theaters more just because I don't want to fucking figure out what streaming service it's on. Like I might have missed the Turtles, and then like I'll probably never see that movie because I don't have that streaming service here in Japan. So the more streaming services there are, the more I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll just go to movie theater. You know, where's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2? Who knows? Who knows? Is it on Netflix? Is it on Disney Plus? Is it on Apple? Is it on Amazon? I don't fucking know, man. That's why I went to the movie theaters to see it. So I'm hoping this hits the movie theaters.
You can usually just Google movie name and streaming, and
Really?
it'll tell you what it streams on. Yeah, like what'd you ask?
Oh
about?
yeah, but here in Japan we don't have access to
Spider-Verse
everything.
Streaming Japan.
Yeah. We don't have access to everything here, sadly. But
Well,
yeah,
never mind.
I'm definitely gonna go see this. I'm making it a priority. It looks good. He looks amazing, and from what I've seen, I'm a big fan of it. And a lot of wrestlers, SidsLight told me this before show, so a lot of wrestlers are talking about how great he's hitting the ropes.
Yeah, running the ropes like a champ.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Must watch, going to watch, and overall, do you think we'd get more views if I looked like Zac Efron? Like, do I hit the gym, fix my jaw? I mean, my jaw's already fucked, so I might as well go all out, you know?
I mean, maybe.
You know, like get the
it
Tom
couldn't
Cruise
hurt,
teeth,
but
Zac Efron fucking jaw, get on the supplements, and just come back.
You could definitely do it. You're in Japan. I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
issue you guys juice with your passport, don't they?
I don't know. Steroids.
Like when you first get to the country, don't they just offer you when you come in vaccination and a steroid needle?
I've never worked out past 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night and haven't been offered steroids in a gym. Not
Nice.
once. They're like, because they always come by, like, do you need help? I got something that can help you.
I'm gonna start juicing when I go to Japan. I'm gonna just get huge.
I thought about it, but I always follow
I'm
up
gonna
with
go.
why.
I'm gonna go for 300.
I always thought about it. I'm like, but like, why? I'm never gonna be a wrestler.
Just
I'm never
because
gonna
it'd be
like,
hilarious.
just be like, welcome
Maybe
to
I do become a
KocoSports.
wrestler.
No.
Maybe I go when I
Oh, man,
try
you
and
could.
wrestle
Maybe you know.
Takeshita.
Go for it, man.
I tell him, I'd be like, hey, listen, most of my concussions aren't documented. We're going to be great.
Oh, dude, it depends. Like, I can't I can't get cleared anywhere. I used to fight.
They don't have a reason to check for me. They're not documented. Most times happen to like in fights.
Can you pass a concussion test? I can't pass a
know.
concussion test.
I don't know.
Have you had a concussion test?
No.
I would try to pass a concussion test before you become all steroided up and try to be the next. Well, I guess in wrestling it doesn't matter. I mean, in WWE it probably matters. Oh, it probably matters in New Japan.
No, I'll just get roided up and I'll go do strong style.
All right. I think
That's
you got
just
it all
real
figured
fighting.
out. Yeah, you got it all figured out.
Yeah, my gimmick will be the raccoon. I'll wear a raccoon mask, like a
Like, I'm
luchador
here.
raccoon mask, and I'll be like a 300-pound steroid dude.
Dude, you know that would get over in DDT like fucking bananas.
That's true. DDT would love steroid raccoon.
It'd be like, you're in. Welcome in. Congratulations.
I'd call myself the Roid Coon. Well, no. I'm gonna go
could
steroid raccoon.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could go.
yeah.
That
Like,
could-
I was like, that
"That's a
sounds
great
great.
name,"
And then I repeated.
then my brain was like, that
Yeah,
could
yeah.
turn horrible.
Yeah. Let's stupid racism.
Yeah, racism ruins everything, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to go see the movie. I think we got a little off topic.
Yeah, I think the movie's gonna be great. almost as great as my DDT career, where I do steroids and wrestle in a raccoon mask. Soon. Takeshita, call me.
Stay tuned. All right, last segment, taking stock, buying
that's
or
not the
selling.
last segment.
Yeah, it's the last segment.
No, it's not.
What's the last segment?
What happened to the AEW top 5?
I don't think we have it. I don't think. Hold on. Let's rewind.
There was a whole. This was.
No, you're
that
right.
was your
You're right.
idea.
No, you're right. I'm wrong. Mistakes were made. I didn't set it up. Let's set it up right now.
Wow.
Are you editing this part out?
No, I will not be.
There you go.
Just like
Perfect.
episode 14, I will not edit it out because you deserve to suffer for what you do.
The thing is, too, we said it would be before the Zac Efron story, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Now it's before taking stock. Now we got to come up with another segment to put after this.
After this? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Dude, are you going to edit this out or no?
No, I'm not editing it out. I don't know why you're counting. You better just get the ball rolling, bitch. We don't edit this show. No, this podcast does not get edited. Unedited is going in the title again, I guess. If your fuck-ups make it to the YouTube, they stay there.
All right, well, you know, you got to keep it real. Sometimes you mess up.
The people deserve to know what I deal with. They got to know.
Yeah. We had one guy try to benefit off our mess ups. We're like, dude, come on, man. You got to grow your channel a better way than that. Yeah. He's like, you guys are trying to fucking do the news. Listen, I love me and Sid. You know, might be a little fucking delusional. I'm retired. This is fucking fun for me. If this is a news segment, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
There it is. It's just two fucking friends talking wrestling. That's all it is. If you think it's more or less than that, then you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, I'm not a reporter.
All right.
I'm a raccoon.
How does
anybody look at us and be like, that's serious reporting? Like,
there's a dinosaur, there's raccoons.
How do you look at this and be like, yeah, those are reporters. That looks like CNN from the 90s.
90% of our content is Vince McMahon at his private life that doesn't exist.
Or it does.
Maybe it does. All right, let's start fresh,
Probably
boys.
eating a ketchup burrito right now.
All right, Fave 5. This is our top 5, or just our favorites. Please list down your favorites. Fave 5, AEW men's wrestlers. We're going to get all the AEW men, all the AEW women, the WWE, and all the other companies. And we're going to mess around with Fave 5s just because, you know what? There's only so many times we can go, guys, this guy said this on Twitter.
That and there hasn't been much wrestling news this week anyways.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. All right, so let's go backwards, okay? You have your list in front of you. I got my list in front of me. I'm going to go honorable mention, okay? Just because we haven't seen enough of him, but I absolutely love him. Honorable mention, not my Fave 5, even though I love him. Fave 5, maybe overall, we'll do another day. But Fave 5 and AEW, honorable mention, Ibushi. Just because we haven't seen enough of him. That's my honorable mention.
We're getting a limited view version of Ibushi where it looks like he's definitely changed his style.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any honorable mentions?
I have an honorable. I moved him down from my number 5 because it felt wrong to have my number 5 not in the top 5.
All right.
But Prince Nana. I think Prince Nana has fucking shined. He has been phenomenal every time he's on screen. Here's the big thing I think for me that that stands out is Swerve Strickland is a bad guy. You know, there's no denying it. He's a villain. That's the character. He's a bad guy. But Prince Nana is so fun that you still catch everyone's dancing with it, all that. People still love his theme and everything. He's a bad guy, but everybody loves him because he's amazing in ring and on mic. One of the most fluid wrestlers ever. But Prince Nana just brings so much to it.
I 100% agree. All right, my number 5. This might come as a shock because I felt like he'd be higher up the list.
John Cena's not in this company.
No, MJF. MJF's my
Ooh.
number 5. I think he does great. I think his character, I think him and Adam Cole together has been amazing. I think Adam Cole getting injured kind of slowed him down. Him in the Bullet Club is a bit off. Him not wrestling as much, kind of. He's amazing. He's in my fave 5 of all, and this is a big roster. So being in the top 5 is a big thing because this is like top 5 of 800. Jesus, Tony and fucking H over there are signing everybody. But my number 5 is MJF. He wrestles more and more Adam Cole stuff, but you really can't get knocked. And I know he's a lot of number 1 for a lot of people. His stake for me really has rose, but number 5, the champ, MJF.
Okay, that's fair. I rate him higher, but I see
right.
with your logic. For me, number 5, I couldn't make the list and not have him in my top 5. Kenny Omega.
Oh, Kenny as low as 5. Damn you, Tony Khan.
Like,
Damn
well,
you, Dixie Khan.
he hasn't won a pay-per-view in so long, but Kenny Omega, when he was at his peak with the belts, was one of the best periods of wrestling ever for me in terms of my excitement to watch every minute. I couldn't get enough Kenny Omega on my screen, and I still love Kenny Omega. He is amazing. I don't love everything that he's been doing lately, but I still love Kenny Omega and undeniably think he's one of the top 5 best AEW has.
All right. Number 4, Daniel Bryan. I think him being hurt, but he's absolutely fantastic. Great wrestler. And they signed a lot of WWE guys that don't fit what the original AEW was supposed to be. He fits everything AEW is supposed to be.
Well, because he was ROH.
Yeah, it's true. That probably definitely does help. But I just think, and it always cracks me up because people are like, oh, there's no more stars now CM Punk is gone. I'm like, what are you talking about? How is Daniel Bryan not a star?
Yeah.
Or Bryan
Daniel
Danielson.
Bryan had to carry the WWE when Punk left before. Yeah.
And he's wrestled with a broken arm. He's just a man's man and just absolutely fucking amazing. He's number 4, and I almost bumped him up to number 3. It was a close call. But if I took over AEW and it's like Koco's taking over, I'd cut a lot of the former WWE guys instantly. He would definitely not be one that I cut.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your number 4?
My number 4. All right. Pound for pound, I think the most entertaining performer in wrestling right now is Cardblade. Number 4 for me is definitely Cardblade. He is so over with me, it's not even funny. I'm more into Cardblade than I am all of the rest of the Bullet Club. I am into Cardblade, and he's just a cardboard cutout of Jay White, but he's so good at what he does. He has the presence. He's always ready. He's got the great pose. Cardblade is my number 4.
Here's the thing. I want to fucking rail back and be like, you're an idiot and throw a banana on your head. You know, that's the rage I'm feeling.
I have a banana
but
on my head.
I'd throw a second one. To me, I don't like sports entertainment when it's overdone, but that's fucking hilarious. And I want them to use them more. Like, I just get mad when they don't involve them.
I want Cardblade all the time. If there's ever a world where they do a tag match where it's just Jay White wanting to do a 1v2 match, and it's him and Cardblade, and he just never tags Cardblade, and they just have Cardblade standing up on the edge of the ring the whole time, I'd love it.
Well, there's 2 ways you can go about that, too. He tags Cardblade in desperation, Cardblade gets pinned, or he beats the shit out of his opponent, tags Cardblade, and has Cardblade get the 3 count.
You know the team to do that with?
It might as well be the ROH guys that fucking MJF beat.
Well, yeah, they'd be the team to beat in a 1v2. But the team to do that and actually put on a match with Cardblade, Golden Lovers.
Hell yeah, Golden Lovers would put it
Kota
over.
Ibushi put on a match with a blow up doll. He's put on a match with a child. I guarantee you, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi would put on a match with a cardboard cutout of Switchblade Jay White and Jay White, and it would be a banger.
Yeah. My number 3, a little bit of a favoritism here, but I absolutely enjoy him no matter what company he's in. And if there was less titles, his run would mean a lot more. But that would be one Samoa Joe. I just feel like Samoa Joe hasn't lived up to his full potential since ROH, maybe early Impact days. And I know it's Ring of Honor. Yeah, yeah. So I'm a big Samoa Joe guy, and I feel like it's nice to see Samoa Joe being Samoa Joe again. But I don't know, should he count as an ROH guy? Or are we just counting ROH guys and AEW guys together?
I think you count them together. Tony does.
Yeah, so I was hard to put Samoa Joe or Daniel Bryan, which one first. But I went Samoa Joe first, but I love both those guys. All right, you're number 3?
I do love that Joe has gone back to core Joe, like to the Joe we all know and love. That it feels like it's been a return to form. For me, number 3 is Konosuke Takeshita. I think this kid is undeniably going to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, barring some fluke thing derailing him. He is in-ring going to be a fucking monster by the end of his life. This guy is amazing. And he has so much presence and charisma with his body language that's just so good that if he ever learns to fluidly speak English, it's going to be even better. But if he goes back to Japan, I see the guy having an all-star career for the rest of his life, easily being like Okada level.
Yeah, and on top of that, that's why they also have managers, so it'd be good. We did not compare lists, so he's my number 2. I love him one point higher. I think he's the future. I think you should be finding wrestlers outside of just the Fed, and he's becoming a star, and he's the ace of DDT, and just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, he is my number 2, and there's not much more I could say except if AEW goes down the right path, he's the future of this company.
Oh yeah, he's undeniably one of the biggest stars they have in the making.
All right, you're number 2.
You rated him a little bit low, but for me, number 2 is MJF.
All right.
While he does have flaws, I think, especially when just the other day I was reading, Mark Henry was saying how backstage MJF will often be helping other people work on promos. He'll help other people with their gimmicks before the show. That he'll help production before the show. That he just helps people in general. So behind the scenes, he's very helpful. He gets wrestling in a way that very, very few people seem to get wrestling. It just clicks for the guy mentally. He understands wrestling as a business. And I think he protects kayfabe harder than maybe any wrestler of the last 15 to 20 years. This man protects kayfabe right now. And most of the guys... Go ahead.
I don't know. I was just going to add, protecting kayfabe, he does it where it's entertaining and you don't look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. It feels like his character's just a real character.
Yeah.
Even though there are cracks in it sometimes, he does a phenomenal job of just keeping the kayfabe going all the time. And I think that's really, really great. And also why this face run's going to be fun for him, I imagine, since he's been being a dick for so long. Now he gets to show his love for the fans in a way as it gets going more. I think...
No, I was going to say, and the thing about his face run is he's not 100% dedicated to it, so he could switch back and it'd be a way smoother transition back to heel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he can easily go, I was your scumbag, but I was a scumbag. It's an easy transition to go from I was your scumbag to I'm still a scumbag, though.
Yeah.
I think MJF is... They need to hold on to MJF for all that they can, and MJF needs to stay the staple that he's been. I think losing MJF would be one of the worst blows AEW could suffer.
Yeah, and I could see that. My number 1 is what you just said. if this person's gone, I think I stop watching instantly.
Kenny Omega, isn't
It's
it?
Kenny Omega.
I knew it.
Like, in Japan, AEW is known as Kenny's promotion. Like, it's just like, oh, AEW, Kenny's promotion. Oh, like, if Kenny Omega disappears tomorrow, he shows up in a Royal Rumble. Kenny Omega says, hey, I'm going to fucking retire. There isn't enough to grasp me holding on to. Like, I think I go, like, with Kenny Omega there and the potential of seeing him, I don't miss a show. Kenny Omega leaves. Sid, was there any good matches I should watch? I'd turn into that fan instantly overnight. Instantly, in a snap of a finger. I think the company is in his image, and I think because Tony and him listen to the wrong critics, we're never going to see Kenny wrestle that great unless it's at Kingdom. And
There's also, I think on the other end of that spectrum, even if we had like wavered off as fans to where we were barely ever watching, if we heard Golden Lovers was running an angle or storyline,
we're there.
we are instantly back interested off of that alone. Like, that's the kind of draw and pull he has with fans who know him, who are fans of Kenny Omega from Japan, because they know Kenny Omega at his best is magic.
Let's say they give Edge everything, and, you know, it becomes, you know, Dixie Carter's TNA. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm going to take a break. If Kenny has a 1v1 match or an important match with the Golden Lovers, I'm fucking there. I'm there every fucking time. So, number one, Kenny. I know some fans don't like Kenny Omega, but you will when he shows up at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, man, I just had an idea.
What's that?
You know, if they let Daniel Bryan go on a tear and just keep beating people for his last year, Kenny Omega still got a lot of good gas in the tank.
Yeah.
I kind of would love to see Kenny Omega be the one to top one and retire him.
That would be nice.
And that be the way that Kenny breaks his own bad luck.
Yeah. It would be interesting. Because here's the thing, like, Kenny's so good. He's one of the few guys, and there isn't many. Finn Balor, shut the fuck up. Nakamura, sit the fuck down. Dolph Ziggler, shut up. He's one of the few guys that are like, it doesn't matter if he wins or loses. His matches are something special. Yeah. And I don't think there's many people that are like that. And it's just fucking kind of sad that he has to be EVP because, like, the belt collector is one of the best fucking things going. And it's just like, yeah. So, and him and Will Ospreay hopefully will have more matches down the line.
I'm genuinely hoping that he's just helping get Kota back out into ring readiness. And it's just, that's what he's been doing lately.
I hope so, but I'm sure, like,
getting Kota back at the snuff.
I'm sure running a company and, you know, there's got to be pressure. It's like, well, I'm in charge. I can't be the champ. But.
And he plays a lot of Street Fighter.
Yeah. I missed, dude. I went to 3 to 4 days at a Tokyo Game Show, and the one day I didn't show up, Kenny did.
Oh, you fool.
I am a fool. I'm a fucking
My
loser.
number one?
Microphone abuser. Go ahead.
My number one is Swerve Strickland.
Really? He's hot as fuck.
I've always kind of liked him, but man, he's got it, dude. He found something over the last few years that just made it click for him, man. Because, like, he was always good. Like, when he was Killshot and Lucha Underground.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Great matches. The guy has always been good in ring. But now he like, his promos, his flow, he has good rhythm. The way he moves in the ring and transitions between things looks so good. He is one of those guys that I feel is a complete full character. That his character is it in and out of ring. He understands and has his character locked down. And I think he's amazing in the ring. I think he's amazing on the mic. And I think he's going to be one of those huge guys over the next few years, if barring injury.
I feel foolish not having him on my list.
Because he's crazy hot right now, too.
Yeah. And he's delivering. It's not like...
Yeah. He's not hot being pushed out undeservedly. He's hot, and him and Prince Nana have been amazing. His stable has elevated the guys that have been in it. Well, okay. Honestly, I think his stable's elevated the guys for the most part. The guys who take part in the dancing with Prince Nana, I feel, are more elevated than the guys who do not.
Yeah. So,
But overall, Swerve and everything around Swerve has been magic for the last few weeks, at least. And I can't wait. I hope he stays here for a long time.
and I kind of agree with you. I feel kind of foolish. You win Fave 5. I don't know if you could win Fave 5, but you just did. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. All right. Take 2. Taking stock. This time it's for real. Buy or sell. That's what we're talking about here, folks. All right. Do you have buy or sell? What do you got? I'm going to let you go first.
I do, but I don't know that I have a clickbait. But my first one is, I did buy him. I haven't sold him since I bought in on him.
But you're doubling
when he
down.
made the heel turn, huh?
You're
Yeah,
doubling down.
I'm doubling down. Because I'm excited for the kind of segment that I usually don't get that excited for about a wrestler. That if you had told me 3 weeks ago I'd be excited about him, I would have been like, no way. I'm buying Nick Wayne.
Really?
I am loving since the heel turn. I think he went with it great. I think it has potential to be really, really, really good, and I'm really excited to watch this kid now. Like, he had it in ring, but I wasn't very interested in him with the angle he came in. The heel turn made it interesting, and the announcement that he's going to be doing that interview segment with his mom and JR made it even more interesting. I think it's super, 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 super good for him right now. They managed to take what I thought was kind of a botched launch and repackage and rebundle it relatively quick and turn it around for him. I think it's been really good.
See, you double down on him. I'm kind of just on the fence. I think him being a heel is way better than him being a face. Him following Christian's way better than him following Darby Allin. So these are all improvements. And I wouldn't say sell, but I'd say lightly buy. You know, I just put a couple coins, little tokens there. I'm not all in. I'm not a heavy buyer, but I want it to be known. You know how, like, you on your stock watches you can have alerts? I'll buy a lot more if this JR segment is off the charts. I think this JR segment coming up,
it could be huge or it could kill it.
Yeah.
I agree. That JR interview segment could definitely kill it. But it's one of those things where it's pre-produced because it's a JR interview segment, and JR shines. JR interview segments have always been amazing, I think. But I had no interest in this kid ever doing one. But now I do.
Yeah. And I think the fact that it went from, oh, this young guy's amazing, to, oh, I don't fucking care what's going on, to, oh, shit, to a make or break moment, that's pretty goddamn good. So
yeah, it's a very
I'm gonna go lightly buy with an alert. Okay, with an alert. If it's a home run, I'll put a lot on the kid. But it could be a stinker and go nowhere. So I think it's weird because it's a pre-produced promo, but that pre-produced promo could be huge, swinging a factor on good or bad pretty quickly.
I have a sell that could kind of be considered a little spicy.
All right. What are you gonna sell?
I'm selling the Usos.
Oh, separated? I'm kind of not feeling them separated.
All right, listen. If they separated and one of them stayed doing singles, all right. You immediately went and won tag belts with someone else, and then the other one paired up into a tag team with the other relative. You guys are doing the same damn thing. You just split up into separate. It's so.
Yeah, like, if you're gonna split up a tag team, don't put them right into a tag team.
Yeah, like, if you guys wanted to be split up as a tag team, I get it. But why are you immediately become tag team wrestlers again? It's like, come on. What's the point of pushing Main Event Jay if Main Event Jay is just going to be main eventing tag teams? He's been doing that.
Yeah. And I kind of want to see what he can do on his own. It would be it would be really interesting.
It just feels like a super cop-out.
Yeah. I know. I kind of agree. So I'm buying the Usos in singles competition, selling them in tag team matches.
Yeah, I'm selling them in tag teams because it has also effectively for me killed their tag division.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love Pretty Deadly. I think they're great. Buy Pretty Deadly all day, yes, boy. But I think they've killed the division with this. You basically just you've had tag teams that are just two solos dominating the division basically
Yeah. And
for a while.
and they switched it back really quick. I don't know if it's just because like, hey, look, Jay won the tag without you, you didn't. Maybe that's the situation, but I don't think that's worth it. I don't think that was like the prize at the end wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So buying them in single divisions, selling them as as tag team. Because if they're gonna be a tag team, just get them back together. Just get them back together. All right. Buying Nakajima. I'll be at his event. Going to Corkin Hall. Hopefully, I'll be healthy. I've been a little under the weather, but going to Corkin Hall to see Nakajima wrestle for Pro Wrestling Noah the second to last time. Last time in Tokyo, and in a one of those press scrums earlier, the reporters asked about him, and Tony Khan says we'll talk to him. So, tampering with Noah contracts? How
Now,
dare you?
If you see him, are you gonna ask him about AEW?
I don't know. I usually ask, and then when they like give me a bullshit answer, I just like nod, like okay, got it. That's how I usually do. Like if I meet them, I'll ask them a pretty tough question, and then like if they're like, I don't want to fucking answer that. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool. You don't fucking answer it. Like I don't know. Like I think human beings forgot how to do PR. Like what's her name? Monet yelled at a fan, and then not really yelled, but she was kind of aggressive. And then like they recorded it, and she's like, she's having an attitude. I'm like, no, these are just human beings.
No, she's just tired of being asked that same question for what, like fucking 9 months now?
Yeah.
Clearly, she's not gonna talk about it, guys.
I mean, my thing is just ask politely, and if they say no, be like, all right, cool. So I don't know.
If you were gonna get one,
I think people just lost
it's
manners.
the one locked in TNA.
I think it's also like with Twitter and Reddit and all social media, people like don't know how to talk to human beings in real life.
Well, they also are disincentivized to it. Like, what gets more clicks?
Yeah, that's
her
true.
saying no comment or getting her agitated by asking about it all the time.
Yeah, human beings are sad. Bring it in for a hug, humans. Let's be a lot fucking cooler to each other. Don't you dare call Edge bug-eyed, you sons of bitches. Don't you fucking do it. So,
are you buying his bug-eyes?
Yeah. I'm buying Nakajima, and I want to see what he can do. And I'm selling. It's going to be weird. I'm selling calling, podcast, and online stuff news because it's first off, it can be changed. People can lie. It can be changed. People can lie, and you're just repeating other shit. Like,
well, I mean, some podcasts maybe are news though. Like, we're not news though.
We're definitely not news.
Well, we discuss whatever comes out.
Yeah. And to give opinions and all that. But I don't know. I just feel like the news industry, the real life news industry is shit.
Well, I think it's because news has shifted. We're used to like there was the era of news where, news was just the facts. It was just the facts. That was it.
Yeah,
that's not what news means anymore.
Yeah, now it's all opinion and all that.
So we are news to most people.
See, like to me, the AP is news. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that's news. Got it. It's just the facts. Yeah, but nowadays, I'm just selling news in general because, like, it's like I repeated this right thing and you didn't is weird, and also that it's pro wrestling. It's like anyone can lie to you at any fucking second, and B, they can change it. Like if I go up to MJF and say, "Hey, are you losing the title?" He's like, "Yep, I'm losing it to Jay White." And then fucking, all right, I'm gonna roll with that news. And Tony Khan comes by, I'm like, I changed my fucking mind.
Pro wrestling news is basically either someone leaked something, someone got hurt, or someone signed a new contract or got out of a contract.
Yeah, and the rest is all opinion.
Or and the day-to-day happenings of the shows.
It's weird that the people put as news, And we're talking in sports. We're talking in real life news. I just think I'm selling what people call news. That's what I'm selling.
That's
You
not
gotta
really
know.
wrestling, though.
What's that? No, but wrestling
You
has
gotta
that
buy
too.
and sell wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we could buy and sell anything.
We can, but not like anything in the world.
All right,
Like
I'm
we
selling
can't
wrestling
sell
news.
world hunger.
And you know what? I don't like world hunger. I'll say it.
You
I'm
can't.
selling
It's
world
too bad.
hunger. You know
Can't.
what?
The problem is people need to buy.
I'm not fond of wars, and I'm not. You know what? I'm gonna be brave enough to say it. Not really a big fan of racism.
Without wars, you wouldn't be getting that new fancy jaw. So shut your mouth.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, get ready for your robot jaw, bitch.
I'm gonna look like the Iron Claw.
Ask
But
them.
yeah.
Ask them if they can put Wi-Fi in it.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. For those that know, I'm selling my surgery. I had a piece of my jaw. Make sure I'm playing the right side. I had a piece of my jaw.
Don't open your mouth.
No, I'm definitely not, dude. It's a fucking freak show in there. I had a piece of my jaw missing, so I put metal. But to put that metal in, I had to put like fake teeth. And then one day I was just eating, and like
To clarify, he did not do this himself.
no. I had some.
doctor
The
did
doctor
this.
did it, and I was just eating here at the computer. I'm glad it didn't happen in a restaurant. And like the little Snicker bars.
Could you imagine if it happened at like that quiet dining like ramen place and it fell out into the bowl and like broke the bowl? Like it's the most noisy thing ever in the
I
middle
just
of
thought
like
about.
the super quiet nobody talks place. Do you just grab it immediately and walk out?
I
Just like,
think
I'm
that's
going.
what you do no matter where you're at. But there, it's kind of awkward because it's loud. I think it's even more awkward if you're in a business meeting. But like,
that
yeah,
where you
basically,
work?
like the little candy bars that you get on Halloween, the Snicker bars. Like
Yeah.
a piece of metal fell out of my mouth that size, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was possible.
Nice.
So I'm selling my fucking jaw, and I'm gonna buy Efron's jaw. There we go. I'm just gonna be like, hey, can I have Efron's jaw? That's what I'm talking about. There we go. All right, I'm out of buys and sells. When we sell world hunger and racism, I think we went too far.
I am too. I'm out of buys and sells.
All right, make sure to
I
like,
mean, other than the usual buy Dominic.
buy Dom Dom, buy Dom Dom.
Always buy Dom Dom.
Dude, it's insane how over he is. Him and LA
He is.
Knight.
Honestly, I know this isn't really the segment, but this is my genuine hope for where Dom goes. I hope that Dom gets to do mask versus hair against Ray first, wins, and then starts wearing it just to taunt him sometimes.
Oh, that'd be.
And
cool.
then I hope he does career versus career,
Yeah.
and that's how you retire Ray.
If H doesn't screw it up, a really hot LA Knight versus the really hot Dom Dom, that crowd would be off the fucking charts. Sports entertainment to the max.
It would, but I don't feel like Dom's ready for that match. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
I
building
don't
up.
feel like LA Knight can carry Dom through the match, and I think Dom's good, but I don't think Dom's. You know what I mean? I don't feel like either of them's good enough to be the leader of the match.
Oh, all right. I got an extra buy. This is bonus buy. I'm gonna buy the Paul brothers. One of them. Who's the one that boxes?
Oh fucking A.
Logan's one.
They both box.
All right. Well, who's the one that wrestles in WWE? It's Logan, right?
Logan.
All right, I'm buying Logan Paul. He goes out
I'm
there.
selling the Pauls.
right.
Always.
Let me buy Logan Paul before you sell him. He
I
goes
know,
out there,
but
has a freak show boxing match, fucking all that, and in that calls out Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean,
I'm sure
How about that?
WWE probably liked it, but at the same time, what if he's doing the Matt Riddle thing where Matt Riddle just kept trying to get a match with Goldberg?
Oh, that would sad. But no, Rey Mysterio at the L.A.
Yeah, he said I'm at SmackDown every week.
Yeah. So they're definitely building up to it.
Yeah, but
So-
I definitely think,
Dude,
I hope
Logan
Ray
Paul
beats
as
him.
U.S. champ. Oh my God, it would make so many people's heads blow up.
I hope Ray beats him.
I don't know. He's really popular. So there you go. And you know what else? I'm gonna buy something. We're going off wrestling. I'm gonna buy that Chargers fan. There was a Chargers fan that lost her mind, and people were being mean to her. I don't know. There's generation the word cringe kind of bothers me because it's like, it's just people having fun. There's this lady at the Chargers game, same one that Rey Mysterio was at. She was losing her fucking mind, having the time of her fucking life. And then people are like, oh, she's not that attractive. Oh, it's a plant. Oh, people don't have fun. Man, we live in a generation that forgets how to fucking have fun. Have fun, you fucking
people
turkey
always
asses.
think anytime they see any crowd segment from a sports game, oh, they're plants. It's like,
Yeah.
let's just pretend it's fun. Can we just pretend it's fun?
Even if
I get that most of social media script things that you see on TikTok and shit are scripted.
yeah,
I don't care. I just want to laugh.
and not only that, but with this woman, we're getting a little off wrestling, but this is the morning show part of it. With this woman, all right, if
This
she's
is the BS.
that is the BS. This is the BS we advertised. With this woman, best case scenario, Detective Twitter, is that she was a plant having a good time and you made fun of her looks. Worst case scenario is this is a genuine fan having the time of her life and you are stalking her to find out if she's real. I think that's a lose. I sell Twitter. I just sell you, Captain Twitter.
But historically that backfires on the internet when they're bullying someone for having fun. Like there was that one that went viral. It was this heavy-set guy that was just dancing by himself having a good time.
Yeah.
And it went viral because people recorded it to make fun of him. And afterwards, he got contacted by a bunch of people, and they set up like a party and went and like had a big dance party with him.
Ah, that's kind.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot more stories of those come out of those things than not. Where once the bullying starts, the rest of the internet finds out, and they're like, "Well, hold on."
Yeah. Listen. If you're here to ruin someone else's fun, you're an asshole. Cringe or no cringe. You know, that's it. So, LA girl, enjoy your thing. Because here's my thing. People don't get that passionate about it. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they
fucking
do.
See me at the grits. I get fucking passionate. I know what pisses me off, though.
How many
have
people
you seen
have broken shit over their football team losing? Come on.
I know.
I've seen so many dudes lose their shit.
Meanwhile, the Cowboys and Charger fans are fighting in the fucking parking lot everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
come on. They're not into it.
Well, have you seen this like graphic where hockey, they're like, there's more rules for fans now than players on the field. They're like, you must always sit down. You can't be cheering. Don't say this. I'm like, holy fuck, man. Listen, I am selling fan rules. If someone fucking happens awesome on the ice or in the ring, I'm going to stand up and cheer. And if you tell me to sit down and you don't have a cane or a wheelchair, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. Oh. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Like if you ask me to sit down, I'm like, oh fuck, you're in a wheelchair. I tip my hat and say I'm sorry. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, can you please sit down and you're 98 with a cane, I apologize. But if you're a fat piece of shit in their fucking 20s, fuck you, you fucking pervert. Stand up, you piece of shit. It's like the Toronto Maple Leaf fans not having fucking hats for Hatties. Fucking goddamn rich fucking fans, non-passionate fans, making fun of fucking Charger fans who are happy.
Yeah, I don't know how you can not have hats for Hatties. Hatties.
Opening night.
It's such a tradition.
Opening night, comeback. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Don't ruin fun, turkey asses.
That's the problem with Canadian teams.
So, yeah. Don't worry. You know, that Toronto team, you know, it's a new Canadian market. I'm sure they'll understand the traditions in a couple years. You know, it's a new market. You know, Toronto, you know, isn't used to hockey. You know, so we'll give them time.
Even Montreal wouldn't have done that.
Oh, man. It's getting ugly. Anyway, this taking stock took a fucking turn. But you know what? We say half BS. Or is it all BS? It's half morning show.
Right now, it's all BS. We're selling the end of this segment.
Like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, KocoSports. Wherever else you are on the podcast world, like, share, star, smile, check mark, whatever it takes to get the word out.
And we have all our links down there and the below, too.
Yeah, so
whether you're watching this in the podcast or chunk, if it's on YouTube, all our contact links are down below. If it's on Spotify or
others,
iHeartRadio or any of the other ones, because I'm sorry, there are a lot of them. I don't remember. I remember the ones I can't get into because they frustrate me.
Damn you, Apple.
If you're on those, then You could find it on KocoSports YouTube. It'll have all our contacts, or I'm SidsLight on pretty much everything, and he's KocoSports on pretty much everything. And you can find us on Twitch Live, maybe soon on YouTube Live for Koco, and also on Koco Plays for him, where he does his gaming videos. And for me, you can find me on Tales from the Trash Can horror reviews, and I post my VODs to SidsLight VODs.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. That was your best closing ever. You should give yourself a fucking Barry Horowitz.
I don't usually do the closing. You do them
I
all.
know, and I fuck up. I'm like, he's SidsLight, I'm KocoSports, and I get fucking confused.
I
from
know,
there
that's
and just
why I
wing
took
it.
over.
I'm
I
proud
could
of
tell
you,
it was
dude.
coming. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get a shout out in this close. I got to step in.
You're like, I gotta make sure it happens. I'm like, he's SidsLight,
I-
I'm KocoSports. We do stuff online. Check it out.
I got to get the name drops in there or we're screwed.
With that, I am over. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, boom, 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 boom. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop.